Oh, check, check, check. We are live. We are live. A little late today, and today I got a little something different. Normally, I'd like to do mods and upgrades on Saturdays, but today we're going to do a repair stream, but an interesting repair stream. As you know, I'm kind of getting freaking sick and tired of working on switches, especially lately. The success ratio has been pretty low, and so kind of decided to pull back the reins a little bit on that. I had a friend who asked me very nicely if I wouldn't mind taking a look at some drone flight controllers for him and doing some work on them. Apparently he has ripped a couple of pads. Now he gave me a Helio spring and a KISS flight controller, and I guess this is the third one he gave to me to see if I could get it working. It is a ILO. I've never seen this one before. But I took a quick look at the other two, and they do seem potentially repairable. And I'm going to give it a shot and see what I can do for them. I have not flown a drone in probably 4 or 5 years. I got out of that hobby a while back and moved on. Now I'm wasting money on broken electronics for fun. Because honestly, the drone hobby and my favorite part of the thing was actually building them. So now I got to work on this one again. I do believe these Helio boards are no longer manufactured. And he has ripped, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 pads on this board that I'm holding right now. I think that one on the other side is just a little dirty, but okay. Clean most of this up for him too while I'm here. I don't believe, like I said, I don't believe they manufacture this board anymore. I used to have one myself. And then, of course, there's the KISS board, which I actually did fly and prefer to use KISS, simply because it was the easiest to kind of get up in the air and running the way you would expect to want to run it now. This one's a slight pain in the butt just because of this plastic connector right here, but I think it's going to be the easiest to fix. So let's go ahead and get this one started. Probably going to be doing most of my work underneath the microscope today. So we have a little bit of a list of the zoom here. Okay, so this is the rip pad right here, and then he was saying that the trace for it is this exposed bit of copper right there, which is a little weird. I was kind of hoping maybe find something a little bit better than that. But I don't think. Oh, okay, there it is. There's a via right there. So it was hard to see when I was looking at this through his images, but right here there's a via, which I'm assuming is what this came from. Yeah. So what we'll probably end up doing, because that's gonna most likely break. So let's give the board a little bit of a clean here. So I can see what I'm kind of working with. Yeah, you can see that trace is like hanging on by a thread there. So let's yeah. All right, well, we're just going to give it a try here. Now, I'm going to try using some copper tape, which I honestly have not really used. But, you know, it is what it is. Trying to type a little weird, do a little self promo here. Okay, so we got that posted up now. Grab my grinding pen here. I'm thinking that that trace is just gone. Well, there's the everything but my grinding. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, this is gonna be fun. I'm probably gonna ruin this trace here, but we'll try not to. There she goes. That's good enough. That will give me more than I'll need. Let me just grab a toothpick out this jar real fast. Just clean this up a little bit. You don't want to leave the copper, my grinding pen on the board. Of course, I blow it off with some pressed air when we're all said and done and give her a really good scrub, but I forgot the my camera hates shiny stuff for autofocus. Ooh, boy, this is well-loved board. Well-loved board. Yeah, you can see some. Can't remember if that is the. I think that's a button. Yep, that's a button. Okay. Oof, this connector has been hit a couple times with the soldering iron before me, so I won't be the first if I do it. Here's the trace that was attached to that one pad. So let's just clean this off. So you said not to short my board later. Okay. So the goal here is I'm gonna try to attach a piece of copper tape here. Then I'm going to run a bodge wire from this pad to copper tape, and then I'm going to cover all of this with some solder mask. This is 1/4 inch copper tape I'm using, which is like, which you're going to see way too big for the job, but see, like, so I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to chop off an appropriate sized chunk of this shit. In fact, I'm going to even just have to figure out how to start it, because I've never used this stuff before. I think that's the brake, but it's like coated in this plastic. That's weird. Okay. I can see the edge here. Okay. I think I got it. Yeah. Alright, so let's try. Let us try. I'm gonna chop off some of this broken shit, and then I'm gonna just take a look and see what we can do with this stuff. Holy crap. This is some interesting stuff here. I don't really wish this was... I had a better way to secure that. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna leave this in the bag. I'll probably just pull pieces from it while it's in the bag. Maybe we can do it like that. That would be kind of nice. Alright, so let's take a look here. This is our gigantic piece of copper tape, which is, again, far too large for what we need. The hope is that I can take my hobby knife here. Oh, look at that. You guys don't even see anything, huh? I've got to... okay, so zoom you out. I'll do this. We gotta get focus again here. Okay, so here's the copper tape. There's the pad that I need to rebuild. Right? So essentially, like that. Okay. Thinking. Make a mark like here. Maybe cut along that line right there. You could try that. Good thing Check, check. Okay, well, I guess my mic has been dead this entire time. Thunder, you still there? I've been talking to you, but I guess I didn't notice that my mic wasn't working. Cool. So that makes that whole last little bit of content utterly useless. Guess I need to pay attention more to that. Neat. Well, now I'm talking. So anyway, what I did there is I put a little piece of copper. Okay. Alright, so supposedly this is ready. Let's go take a look at it, and then I'll walk over what I did again. And it's looking like it needs a couple more seconds under that UV light there. Yeah, I'm gonna give that a couple more seconds here. All right. Alexa, remind me in a minute to check my UV.
Okay, I'll remind you in 1 minute.
Yeah, no, Thundi, I'm an idiot, and I didn't realize my microphone must have shut off somehow, and yeah. So yeah, so this is Backflip's Kiss flight controller. Yeah. I was like, I just figured you'd kind of walked off, and then I was like, yeah, my I guess I didn't charge this microphone because it keeps dying on me. Um, it's I mean it's a little beat up and a little covered in flux, but besides the rip pad, it looks pretty good. I don't know, obviously like I really can't test it because I don't have a drone or anything anymore. I'm just kind of like just hoping that my work is all that needs to get done here. And he told me when he was kind of limping it along that he got up to work. There was he ripped the trace from the via that I soldered to right here, and he was soldering to that, and that thing was so freaking fragile. I'm surprised it was still on the board. What do I do? There's my Pokey Jamie. All right, so hopefully now. That looks pretty good. Might go and do maybe a little extra right here. But I'm going to do a quick test, see if I can solder to this. Although, unfortunately, I don't really think I'll have much of a way to keep testing continuity. I'd have to figure out where the hell S-Bus went. I don't think they've got schematics for this board anywhere. I think it's S-Bus, Thundy. That's what he was explaining to me. I'd have to look up. Dude, it's been, I can't even tell you how many years since I've tried this. All right, that seemed like it's I mean that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, but yeah, again, I think it's just S-Bus. So I'm just kind of cleaning up some of that flux I just left all over the board here. But that looks like it's pretty solid. And let's just hit it with some heat real quick to kind of finish it off. Make sure I don't melt that plastic, but this will kind of, let's just drop that down to 115. All right, there we go. That way I won't melt that plastic connector any more than it's already been melted. I think we're going to be good there, though. Let's see here. Just do another quick little push test and no, that's, see, it didn't harden yet. Yeah, see like how that all just broke away? Alright, we're going to try that again up there. I might have just laid it on too thick. I might have to do like a couple minutes on the cure. It sort of worked. But yeah, this looks like it's still got some wet solder mask. So let's try this again. Now that I got some solder on the actual pad so that he could solder it himself, should hopefully, again, I want to make sure that this copper itself is really pushed down. I don't care too much about the capacitor right there. Everything can be scraped off. I think that should give him enough. Let's go ahead and try to cure this. Alexa, remind me in 3 minutes to check my UV.
Okay, I'll remind you in 3 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't have. I could try to maybe make that work. It's yeah. I can't look at it now because it's under the UV light. I seem to remember that. You're right, but it's a matter of if I can get the probe in there good enough, you know. But that's a good point. I do remember using that JST header when I did it. I think I've done both methods of direct solder and plugs. No? Okay. Yeah, I should have probably done my due diligence before I started this and pulled up the schematic, or at least the layout. And but I was more excited to start working on it than look at it. So we're just kind of doing it live. Whole point here is just I just need to get this mechanically sound so that it won't rip off mid-flight. I think he said he's, with the Helio, I think he's planning on using a 2-part epoxy over my repair job anyway. But we'll see. Yeah. Could be. I have no idea. I've slept many times since the last time I've worked on one of these things, so we'll do some poking before I call it good. I wanted to get the easy one out of the way. The Helio that he sent is let's see if we can get this to, so if you can maybe see all those rip pads right there. The Helio 100%. Did you give it to him like this? Did you do this to this board? This poor fucking board is so mangled. I haven't seen one of these in a freaking long time. I had at least one, if not two of them. Little ARM MCU on the back. makes me wonder if the pad's directly underneath. I might try that. Because there's...
This is a reminder. Check my link. V. This is a reminder. Check my link. V.
Huh. Yeah, what happened to them? Did they just stop making them, or did they go out of business? They seemed like they were doing pretty well last time I looked. Like they're pretty well liked board. I mean, I know that the drone industry is like seriously probably one of the most fickle things out there. It's like flavor of the day is really putting it lightly. Still think I need to give this more time. I am probably going to give this another minute or two, just to be sure. Because I did lay it on kind of thick, and unfortunately when you do that, it takes a little bit longer to cure. So let's give it another 3 minutes, huh? Alexa, remind me in 3 minutes to check my light. Alexa, remind me in 3 minutes to check my light.
Okay, I'll remind you in 3 minutes.
Okay, I think they had to dissolve the company because of that Flight One guy. That's a shame. Yeah, there's a lot of infighting in the industry from what I remember. You know, it's a shame. You'd think that China would have cloned it, but maybe it wasn't good enough to steal. That's usually kind of the best way to judge your products. If it's good enough to steal, then it's good. Or if people want to steal it, it's good. Yeah, definitely not. I definitely don't miss the drone scene. I miss certain things about the drone scene, but RC crowd is that's a weird one, man. Yeah, there really is. Really is. A lot of and as soon as you start able to make money off of something, it ruins everything. I mean, the upside is I met some cool people I'm still friends with to this day, but I definitely don't miss it. Oh, there's the diagram. Thank you. Let's see here. This is my web browser. Wi-Fi modules, black box. Oh my god, this brings me so back. Jeez. My God. S bus goes to somewhere. I can't tell. I'd have to go. S bus CPU. Yeah, there is no. It doesn't look like it comes out anywhere. So I think I'm kind of flying blind here. So yeah, that's for sure. I mean, back in the start of FPVC, it was a really decent place. I mean, any online community is going to have their share of shitbirds, but I spent a lot of time in that Slack hanging out and talking with folks, and really enjoyed it. So it definitely had its moments to start, and then just kind of, obviously just went to shit. But hey, that's it is how it is sometimes. Just trying to just I must have really laid this on thick because see, like you can see how it's still flexing. That's just not. I don't get this. Why is this not wanting to harden? Like that just gooped off. What the hell, man? Maybe I just got some shit solder mask. I gotta go find some better stuff because that is not making me happy. So let's see if I can't maybe spread that a little bit thinner. Essentially, I just kind of needed to bridge up over this pad here, harden down. That's it. Wonder if it's the black too of the flight controller just. Let's grab my other pair of tweezers, which maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe I'll walk away for like 10 freaking minutes or something. Just trying to like get this thing to balance. All right, try that. Let's try this. Okay. There goes my soldering iron. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's kind of what I mean. Not all online communities, but generally, as soon as things become super popular, the community stuff starts to kind of go downhill because the ratio of shipbirds to non-shipbirds starts to get out of whack, and that's when people leave, and then the good people always leave, and the shipbirds always stay, and then the ratio gets even further out of whack, and then you get NERC telling everybody that they're cancerous, and you know, it just ends the way it ends. All right, 4 o'clock. I'm gonna let this sit for like 10 minutes here. I don't know. I'm just tired of this stuff not curing right for whatever reason. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Gotta also keep my eye. There we go. Wanted to keep my eye on my microphone. Make sure it didn't die. Ooh. Like having a good wipe there and rust there, Thundy. Haven't really, like I said, I took this one off just to kind of give the game a little bit of a break. But I'm sure I'll be back very shortly. Did see a couple interesting videos. Huh? I got a lot of BPs next wipe. Been your main focus. Yeah, getting BPs in that first wipe is amazing. It makes the second wipe far less grindy. I really wanted to go do that Star Wars purge, but for some reason that map just did not agree with my PC, and I couldn't. Every time I played, it was so laggy. It was unenjoyable. It started making me sick. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I thought I liked the map. I was really a fan of it. I enjoyed it, but freaking every time I logged on to play on it, it was just I got like 20 frames no matter where. Well, I guess if I was really out in the wilderness, it was fine. Um, but for the most part, it was like 20 frames, and like the moment I got to any type of building or monument or whatever, it was oh man, it was so bad. Yeah, that's the way to do it, because you want the scrap route just because that's cool. I'm still not confident with that thing. Um, I feel okay to like fly lazily. Like if I need to like go fly from point A to point B, I'm good. But if I got into like some sort of hectic fight or something with that thing, I think I'd crash in a heartbeat. But I guess you've probably been practicing it a lot longer than I have. I did choose that Koala server or whatever it is to go practice, and that was real helpful for me. I still think the snowmobiles are probably the quickest way to get around on RE right now. Yeah, yeah, that's good, man. I mean, it's just like anything else. Once you build up the muscle memory for it, I'm sure it's like no problem flying that thing around. I just remember the first whiteboard I bought one. I don't think I managed to fly more than 40 feet before I crashed. All right, let's see. Let's see where we're at. I think I'm still gonna need some more time here, but see, it like looks good on the surface, but then the moment I start pressing this shit, feeling it's gonna. Yeah, see, it's still soft. Still feels soft, huh? I don't know, is it? This stuff is just flaking off, but this stuff feels like it's okay, maybe? I don't know. We're gonna leave that light on for a few more minutes here. It does not. This is not. I gotta go, and I'll do some research later on better solder masks because this stuff is just not. Either this stuff is crap or I'm doing something wrong. I just kind of made the assumption that solder mask was solder mask, but maybe I'm completely wrong on that. Um, maybe, potentially, yeah. Um, I don't know. It's either that or it's like it's not like it's kind of like there was a gap between what I'm trying to. It's hard to explain. I was trying to like put the copper tape as flat to the board as possible, but maybe there's a little gap in there somehow. Um, I normally don't have this much of an issue with the stuff though. It could be a couple reasons, and also I don't think the fact that the board is black too is it might be absorbing too much of the light. Yeah, I'm gonna just do this real quick so it's not completely boring to look at. And I gotta do this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more times. I do. I am curious in this Helio what my options are because I see some pads on the back, but yeah, I'm taking a. Those ground planes all connected there. Yeah, it's been sitting on that 10 minutes, but no, they're not connected. Yeah, I don't know what those are. It's definitely not ground though. Yeah, let's take another look and see how crappy it is still. Okay. Alright. Give it a little pokery do here. Yeah, see, I just don't know why that stuff is like literally flaking off. Might not like doesn't like something here. See, this feels fine. See, that's just all like flaking away. Look at that. That's so crappy. Maybe he doesn't like the maybe he doesn't like solder. I think we've got it like good enough here. Maybe? I don't know. It's like this doesn't like really doesn't feel like it's curing at all. That's like that's cured. This stuff back here is not. That's like my only concern is I don't want him to hit this with a soldering iron and like basically just undo the connection that's underneath there. Neat. Take a little acid brush here real quick and clear that away. And let me retrieve my hot air nozzle, which just fell off. Yeah. I think we're good, honestly. I really wish I had a way to verify that. Oof. Hope that's just VHB glue, maybe? It's kind of gross. Well, what's on the back of this board? Ox 3v3, 5 volt, PWM. This battery, I'm wondering though. Let me just do some basic. Is that XQFN? I think it is. We could potentially well, there you go, Thundy. So S-Bus. So just so we know, this via right here, goes to this pad. So if we ever needed to order direct solder to this pin, there's S-Bus. Okay, well, I mean, let's just do another test real quick, and I'll probably end up leaving this for him, and that way, if you really wanted to, he can just, here, let's give him something, let's give him a different color. Here we go, there's some blue. I thought I had some blue out here. That way, okay. Okay, so I think what I can do here, just want to make sure that when I solder this wire on, he's still going to have connection. So let us, okay. That feels pretty good, honestly. And then, all right, let's just tin this real quick. Okay, so. Okay, so we verified that the other side though, right? It was, or no. There it is. Okay. So, I believe it was, we'll double check. And we go from third pin from the bottom, right here. Okay. Got connection all the way down through our wire. Just kind of tugging on it a little bit. I'm not seeing that pad move. It's okay. We're good to go there. I think we are good to go. Kinda, it's like it's just bothering me. I just really wish, but I mean, it's not moving. No, I suppose in a good enough crash, I'm gonna. I mean, yeah. Probably be better off with an epoxy, is my guess. Maybe some CA glue on the bottom of the pad before I replaced it. Maybe. But the good thing is we do know that if you really needed to get S-Bus back, then this third leg right here, you could literally run a wire like that, or from this via right here, and just basically run it up this way down at here. But I think we're gonna be okay. No, see, I think this is just all flaking off. No, no. Maybe what I do, apply this, right? And then essentially let it sit under the light off to the side while I work on the other one. It is pretty goopy, I have to admit. Definitely don't use this much normally. But now that we've got a soldered connection, maybe that's what we just do. Let's go ahead and set it off to the side. Start working on the other ones. And then hope this one just kind of hardens the fuck up like it should. Yeah, were you there? Did you see that, Dundee? I found where S-Bus directly ties into. So he's got options at the very end of the day. That's the coolest thing I think about electronics is how a $20 tool can pretty much tell you almost everything you need to know about your board. Just a couple of training tips you got to go through to learn how to use it, and then once you kind of figure it out, it starts making a hell of a lot more sense. Yeah. Just gotta, if you're ever in doubt about where something goes, and actually, a person much smarter than I actually showed me a really cool method of taking braided wire and stripping the sheeting, and then leaving the strands as like a paintbrush, and then you hook the other end up to your multimeter, and so like you kind of paint over areas of the board with the exposed copper, looking for a beep if you're trying to figure out where something's going on a heavily populated board. So I actually have a need to do that soon, so I'm gonna try that out. But anyway, so now you're all staring at a blank screen. Let's take a look at this sucker here. This is the good side. This is the bad side. So we lost all of these pads. Now, if you notice, there are some vias there, and that's kind of what I was hoping I could solder to. I don't know. I don't know. But let's just give this a clean to start. Just get some of this gunk off, maybe, hopefully. And oh, let's just get the whole board here. Lots of flux was used. Hopefully good flux and not plumber's flux. Yeah, I mean, just makes me wonder here. So, all those vias, where do they go to? See, now on the opposite side of the board, I could see these pads right here? Problem is the solder mask is, let's just do this. This is what we're gonna do. First things first, let's take a look at you here. Okay, so let's get you dried off real fast. Yeah, like I said, Dunny, that guy's definitely way smarter than I'll ever be, but it was a very handy tool or a very handy technique. Especially when you don't have schematics for what you're looking at. You know, if everything had schematics, then our lives would be a hell of a lot easier. All right, so the thought and the hope here is that, so TX5 is right there, and when I flip it over, yeah, it's not gonna, it's right there, right? I thought, maybe? So let's see. Right, first things first, I want to see if I can get solder onto those vias right there. Take a little bit of flux. Just a little bit, that's all I'll need. And then clean my tip here. And then we're just gonna maybe try just painting a little bit of solder on them. If that's even possible. Trying to see if I can get something to stick, but it's not looking like it's the case here. That is the case, then I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to repair this. Because I was kind of hoping that. Okay, so we're going to try something here. Cut this real fast. I'm going to strip off a whole lot of wire. Alright, so taking an individual strand from a braided wire here. It's a fly lead, which you'll see in just a second. Right, so that's literally, these are 28 gauge wires. Okay. Okay, so now becomes the exercise in futility, I think. Can I get this wire to solder? Really what I want to know is this via hooked to that pad right beneath it, because that would be the way I would probably do this. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that through that hole there. But can I get that wire to solder? That's kind of like a $50,000 question. Okay. So, let's see here. Really what I want to do. Oh, almost had it there, dang it. There we go. Just kind of wanted to just do that. Okay. Now, here comes the fun part. Can I hold the wire in place while I drop a blob of solder across it in a vain attempt to so the answer to that was no. Okay. So it is possible, just not easy. Alright, okay. For all intents and purposes right now, we do have, okay, so the only reason I wanted to do that is, again, so you can see this pad right here. I want to know if that pad is connected. We're going to take our grinding pen and we're going to grind away at some of this. Perfect. Expose good amount of copper there. That's really all I need. Just clean some of this fiberglass up real fast. Okay. Fire up the old multimeter mode and continuity mode. So we're just going to do a quick check and just make sure. Good. Okay. Now. Oh. Ooh. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. That is very, very good news. So I theoretically can rebuild this potentially from the bottom here. God, I love these simple PCBs, man. They make your life so much easier. So now, so I have those two, and then those two pads. So what I'm thinking is I might be able to and then TX2 on that side is the only one I wasn't really sure of. See, that one might be that via right there, which is still usable. Okay. I'm thinking this is possible. So we're just gonna, just for grins, we're gonna test everything. So I've got those two off to the right here. So let's get that ground down. Okay, let's clean up real quick. And I think instead of me soldering, I think I'm going to do it the other way around. Make my life a little easier here. So let's grab this fly lead. Okay. Okay. Shoot right there, and then we're just gonna hit y'all with some flux and get you tinned up. Okay. Might have to grind that other one, but I'm thinking I can make this work here. Really, the only reason I did this is because I want to do this the other way. I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to solder on these big ass pads. So we already know, so let's just do the one in the middle, and then I'll go grab another lead too, because yeah, that should work. So we're gonna grab this guy right here. Okay, and that's soldered on there. Grab another fly lead real fast. Save me just a little bit of time anyway. All right. All right. Cool. So, I'm gonna flip the board now. So now, we've got these two fly leads coming off, right? And then you can see those vias. So my hope here, just like the other pad on TX1, that RX3 and TX3, and then TX2 as well. Hope I can make good enough contact here. Perfect. And you, dude, that's amazing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's just get rid of this crap real quick. Then Add some fresh solder. Okay. Now the question now. So the big fun part here is I have to cut more copper tape. Okay. So I think we'll right here. Grab ourselves a nice chunk of it. Where's my skizzers? There they are. That's probably way more than I need, but so essentially what I was thinking is that I would I would solder the copper tape like halfway in, right? Like just like this. Then I'd wrap it around the board. And then I would rebuild the pad up top. I'm thinking I could make that happen. So just hold this into place. Kind of want just like that. Just like the same thing we did. I'm gonna just mark like this. Okay. Now, same thing. Oh, we've got some. we have some copper tape already, but I guess one side is adhesive, so that is kind of nice. Now the trick here is am I going to be able to cut this straight enough? I don't mind if it wrinkles or whatever, but I've got to have enough length to get to the other side of the board, and no, I guess the width doesn't matter too much. But you definitely want it wide enough so that he can solder like a 24 gauge wire or something onto it. Let's use this. Maybe this will be better. We're holding it down using a plastic spudger, and I am going to just do that. Now, okay. Okay, now how? I know this is a little awkward to see. I'm just trying to. Oh, if I could get a couple of strips out of this, it'd be awesome. I'm thinking that's probably too much, but okay, let's try this. I've got plenty of copper tape, so shouldn't be too concerned about running out. So let's hit TX3 first. Okay. Now there is adhesive on these, which is nice, but it's stuck to me now. Okay. Okay, so now this is the tough part. Now I've got to kind of think that's looking okay. All right. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to obviously coat this with some but I really don't need that much. Kind of need, let's just say, like, there's the blob. Yeah, let's just see about cutting it right there. Okay, focus for me, please. Come on. Wow. It's it hates shiny stuff. The moment really ultra shiny stuff hits this thing, it freaking hates it. Okay, so let's see if we can't. Okay, that tore perfectly. Okay, so now I kind of want to pick this up again. I need the hobby knife here just to get that edge up. Squish it down some, maybe. Well, this adhesive is better than I would anticipated, honestly. There we go. Because really, I just kind of, I need to merge these two pieces together. All right, so let's hit this with some flux. Yes, multimeter, I understand you are not happy that you're turned on, but you know what? You're just going to have to deal with it. Okay. Now, question being, is this connected or not? 100% connected. So that would be pad number 1. Rebuilt. Just want to give myself a little bit of room here. So remember, when I come in here, all these little bits of exposed copper cannot touch each other. The same thing goes for the pad next to it. But the really good thing we got going for us here is, yeah, this is a very, very solid connection on the back side of the board, right? And then obviously all this right here is going to get some solder mask put on top of it as well. And the same thing with all these blobs as well. That's probably too much solder right there. Let's go ahead and... Hello, cat. There we go. That's a little bit more reasonable. Turn around here and give my cat some attention. Hello, kitty cat. Yes. I got little bits of copper tape stuff to me now. Well, it's kind of good that the adhesive is stronger on this stuff than I expected to be. Quite honest, I was not really expecting much. Okay, so now we got to do this 3 more times. So I I'm actually gonna, while I'm here, just go ahead and clean this up real quick. Get residual flux off. And the good thing too, obviously these it's copper on both sides, so yeah, we do have the mechanical connection on the back via solder, but also see these little vias here. As long as they're making contact, I mean, it's not as good or nearly as good, but we're kind of hopefully doubling our efforts. Yeah, we're basically wanting. There we go. Well, there's one pad rebuilt. But I'm thinking for the next ones, we're gonna probably need to go to some, like a frog's hair thinner. Maybe. So let's do that. Maybe. We'll see. Got a pretty good thinking. Let's try it. Let's just try this here. So I've got that. Then hold you in place using you. And just okay. So let's see about. Okay, that was way too much, but we'll make it work. Okay, so now I need you to keep in manual focus so I can see what the heck I'm doing, because I can't have these two touch. So we need to, nope. There we go. A little awkward there. I still can't see what I'm doing. Very, 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 very dangerously close to each other. And see, that's not enough room on the other side. So I don't think that is going to work. So let's just do this again. I have plenty of this stuff too, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm thinking we might just need to check myself again. I think I'm gonna have to, like, this strip is almost there, but I need to shave off, let's just say, like, right here. Okay, let's use that as a pad. Tricky dicky. Okay. Doesn't really help that I'm slightly out of focus here, but Okay. Not too happy with the way this one came out. It's kind of sliding all over the place too. I might end up just saying screw it and moving it to the mat. This might actually work. That might be fine right there. Let's give that a cut. Okay. And then, okay, put you back in the frame. Okay. Yeah, that's looking better. Yeah. Much better. Okay. Much better. But we're going to have to, come on. Play nice with me now. Okay. Now, we're at this junction. Once again, I can't let these two sides touch. So I got to look at this. Man. This is where this gets a little tricky here because we're so close together. Okay, so I could trim off a small chunk of this. Cool. Okay, so now is the fun part. I'm gonna solder these two bits together here. A little fresh solder on the tip. Try to push this to the other. Okay. All right. So now just gotta try to flatten everything as much as possible. Now the big struggle with this, but see, I might end up coming in here with a knife. Yeah, that's just too close for comfort, eh? Like I might just cut that just to give myself like an extra tiny bit of room right there. See if I can't get into focus and stay. Perfect. Perfection. Okay, so basically just need to slice away here. Just this bit. Then should just be able to separate. Potentially. Let's see if we can't just go ahead and do this and then this. All right. Okay, so now back to autofocus. And just trying to make sure that we're not touching. I think that right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Like this, right? Just right here. That's a little bit that I wanted to trim off. Okay. See if we can't get this to maybe lie a little bit flatter. I'm not sure if we will, but we'll try. Okay, that definitely just lost my connection, I believe. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. It's not the greatest soldering, honestly. Probably should be using a board holder, to be quite honest. But mechanically, that's solid. Now, okay, so we should be okay, and of course, we just did a quick little test here. And we could see that we have no connection, which is what we want. Got a little bit blobbier in this one, but not too bad, not too bad. Cool. And so now we're on to the last one. We're just gonna do it one more time. Just same thing. Size up some copper. Thankfully on this one, let's just do this a normal way here. Oops, not in frame. There we go. So we're saying, I don't know, what do you think? I think we're gonna cut like right by where that 5 is. And there's a 5, right? I'm thinking that's probably where I should make my mark. All right, hold on. Okay, now I can frickin' see. Okay, so thinking something like this, and then okay. Yeah, that should be good. All right, let's see if we can't do this slightly better this time. Now the good thing with this stuff is it does feel like it, it's so nice and thick, and copper's so nice and soft that, yeah. Perfect. So this is just going to be thrown away. And then the other side should have our strip. So let's get you back into play here. Okay. Do I have this zoomed in or something? I do. I'll leave it like that. I think we should be alright. Hey, look at that. That's probably the best one I've cut so far. Okay. Looking good. Same thing. Wrapping it. Oop. Drop my hobby knife here. Don't want to do that because I'll freaking slice my foot open. Just quick little wrap around here. Then about that should be okay. I actually might be able to use that last strip too. Yeah, we could make this work, and then I think I can just cut that away so it's not shorting that QFN there. I'm wondering if do I need to do the solder blob again? Not really feeling like I do. Maybe I just do this real quick, and then we'll just maybe get a little bit of solder on that. Perfect. Nice solid connection. That's all we're looking for, is good mechanically sound connection. Because again, this is a flight controller, so you don't want it to be flying off when you hit the ground or anything. Let's flatten this out a little bit as best we can. This was pretty good for that. Trying to get the pads to lie as flat as possible. And then we just have TX2. And that should do it. So, did I grind that one down? I don't think I did. Oh, that's the VIA. So this one's going to be a little trickier, but not impossible. Let's go ahead and get this ground down. I'm going to expose some of the trace too. That way we have a little bit more surface area to catch on to. I just realized I knocked out a little nubbin here. So I'm going to squish that back in now before I forget it. Oh, these things are such a pain in the butt. It used to be a trick, and I'm just forgetting what it was. Oh boy, I might end up just packaging this up and having him install it, so if he destroys it, he destroys it, but I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Almost got it through. There we go. Okay. I hate these things, but they do serve a purpose. Okay, so now let's get you back into focus. So there's that exposed trace we're trying to work with. A little alcohol. Real fast. See how good of a job we did. Well, I guess let's just hit it with some flux and some solder and see what we can get. Might have to expose just a little bit more trace, but I think I can make this work. Problem is that unlike those really fat pads, it's kind of hard to build up solder on this. Yeah, this might not work. like I wanted it to. Crap. Well, we can try. After all, at the end of the day, I just need to have a good solder connection, and then hopefully the solder mask will strengthen that up. Clean this off a little bit just to take a look at my work here. It's not the I could run a jumper as well. So I do believe so I could do that. Could run a jumper wire from that leg to it's too bad that thing does not go through that capacitor. Otherwise, I could have that to solder to. Can we make this work? I think we can. We're gonna try, because I'm kind of full throttle on this. Let's do this the other way. Thicker. Oh nope. Shoot. Well, we might be okay here. Piece is gonna be a little bit gone, but let's see if we can't. Okay. It's kind of what I wanted. Now, will I be able to solder to this trace? And that is the $1 million question. So what I would like to do, see, I think might be able to run the solder bead there, and then maybe if I get enough heat on the tape, it'll solder this. Okay, so I screwed that up some, but probably should have trimmed it first, which we can do, but 100% it did not solder to that trace though. So let's get my tip here. Okay. Gotta be careful because I don't want to. Very, very, very tenuous connection, it feels like. So let's just see if I can't maybe just chop this off. Come on. Come on. Try not to pull. Okay. So that's good. Now, here's the $1 million question. Do I have continuity? It is a very, very, very shaky connection. I'm not too thrilled with it. Might still do a jumper. says it's soldered. Let's just kind of poke at it real quick. It's questionable. It's the only one I'm not really too happy about. So I think okay. Back into continuity mode. So again, we're just gonna do this and then so it feels like I've got connection there. Just too bad that that's a direct path. There's just literally no other line. So I'm just gonna poke at this again. I mean, maybe it is okay. I don't know. I'll give it a go. If he sends it back to me, sends it back to me, but I think it's gonna be okay, quite honest. Like, let's give it a scrub. And if it doesn't survive the scrub, then I know I'm gonna have to run a jumper wire along that trace to give it a little bit more mechanical strength, but thinking and survive that. Okay, now we're gonna poke at it again. I like poking at things here. Got my pokey jammy. For the tool for the right tool for the job, right? It pokes, it jams. I think that's good. I mean, it's definitely it's definitely a little tenuous, but I think that once I add in some solder mask here, it'll be okay. But that does bring up a good point. Let's dry this off real fast. Make sure we don't have cool. So potentially this is 3 restored pads on this Helio. Unfortunately, I don't think. Let's try this wedge tip here to get this one. As flat to the board as possible. I did unfortunately wear off the adhesive. The only thing I did want to just, again, for a quick sanity check real fast, we're gonna continuity test. Nope, nope, and nope. Nope and nope. Nope and nope. And nope and nope. Perfect. So now we get to do the conformal coating again. Hopefully this time Actually, we're going to set that to the side and we're going to take a look at the other one, which has been baking this entire effing time. And UV light. I mean, if that's not cured, then I've literally got to go buy better solder mask because it's still soft. I think we're good. I just don't like this conformal coating. I'm gonna, right after I get off stream today, that's the first thing I'm gonna go do, is I'm gonna research what the best conformal coating should be, because well, here's to hoping. Alright, well, we're gonna call that good, and, if he wants to add some epoxy or whatever to that to strengthen it up, I'd probably suggest that, or some, at the very least, some hot glue. Epoxy would be a permanent solution, so would CA glue. That is still rebuilt. Everything else is still solderable. I think we're good. I'm good. I mean, it's as good as it's gonna get for the tools that I've got. I mean, I don't know why this stuff is just so soft. Maybe it's fine. It'll cool down. Okay. Well, we're gonna call the kiss good, and let's move on to conformal coating these guys. So now, the one on the right's gonna be the biggest one to get done. It's the one with the weakest connection, so hopefully this will just kind of trying to spread it around as much as I possibly can to thin it out some. But let's move on. Sure, you have plenty. You have plenty for this job on this tip already. So the goal here is just to add a little strength, but mainly insulate these pads from any potential problems. Let's see here. Spread this out some. It's a little too thick there. Good thing about this stuff is you can always just scrape it away if you need to later after it hardens. You really wanted to prettify things, but the goal is not to be pretty. The goal is to be strong, and the goal is to be protected. Okay, so now we gotta do the same thing with you. Basically no, I'll get some focus on this too in a second. Okay. Perfect. So, try to wipe this tip off a little bit here. Just try to spread this out some. Make sure all this exposed copper is as green as possible. And again, try to go all the way to the edges of the board. Like we can actually bridge the solder mask between these parts, because solder mask is non-conductive, so it doesn't matter if that all touches. But that little tiny son of a bitch, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get some of these valleys. There we go. Just going to have to get some fluid in there. Okay. Well, okay, so we're gonna do it like that. I'm thinking. Stupid power cord, man. Drives me nuts. Yeah, so actually I don't want to harden that stuff because we're gonna still use it. Nubby should be okay. And then to do like that, there we go. Well, I've got this set up. And I will be back in about 10 minutes or so. So you guys enjoy staring at absolutely nothing. Okay, now let's see here. Am I back? I'm back. Okay, yeah. Let it been sitting for about 20 minutes or so, but or 10 minutes, I should say. So let's see how good we're doing. And turn the UV light off. Get back into the microscope here. How are we looking? Well, we're not looking anything but blurry, so let's get that going first. I still think we're going to need some more time with this. This stuff is really thick. I mean, really thick. And I get the... kind of like was just crossing my fingers that this stuff on this side here was going to dry. Huh? Looking okay. That's stupid effing thing. Come on. Okay, so let's give it a good old poke test. Yeah, stuff is fine. I wonder why it doesn't like that kiss board. Maybe just because it was such a tight space. Or maybe it was the black board absorbing all that UV light, which is very, 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 very possible. Okay, so now we got one little tiny last little bit to do, and I can call it a day on this repair, which is kind of nice. Because this was the first time I've ever attempted this. I mean, not my first time ever doing trace repair or anything like that, but I've never actually worked in a flight controller before. Because back when I was flying drones, I didn't really have the tools that I have now to do this. So I'm just kind of starting off doing as light of a coating as I possibly can. He still has to be able to solder to these things too, because he's going to be attaching wires. You know, I assume, you know, not much of a gambling man, but I would put some money on the fact that he actually probably does want to use this to fly his drones and not just hanging on his wall. So let us strengthen. I don't like how, yeah, fortunately the copper on this one just rub the adhesive off. So it's not wanting to stick the board as flat. I'm just kind of hoping here that all right. I think we should be good there. Just do that real fast. Alright, I'm gonna go disappear for another 10 minutes and hope this cures up just as nice as the other side did. Yeah, this is not looking as clever as I want it to, so let's just see if I can't get just a little bit more on there. I think we're gonna be okay though. Okay. Let's give this a go. And I'll see you folks in another 10 minutes. Alright, well, I'm sure that was absolutely interesting for everybody. So let's just go and get this back under the microscope and take a look at how it cured up so I can call it a day and go relax. Let's take a look here, huh? Let's see. There you go. Looking alright. Yeah, I think what I was seeing on the KISS flight controller was just that this tape kind of flexes because it's I might yeah, this is needing more time. But honestly, at the end of the day, even though it does need a couple more minutes under the UV light, there's literally no reason for me to continue showing you that because it's literally the most boring content known to man. However, for all intents and purposes, that is looking done. So I'll let it cure for like another 10 or 20 minutes here and get in touch with Mr. Backflip and let him know the good news. I think that these flight controllers are rescued as best as I could rescue them. Yeah. And we should be good here. I mean, yeah, this stuff cured a lot better for some reason. And I think it's just because it had more PCB for it to cure to versus copper. Nope, see that didn't cure very good. See, you can see how that was just like a little bit of gel just popped out of there. Alright, so this needs some more curing time on both sides. But we will call it a day for now. I do appreciate anybody who stopped by. I know it was a pretty short and kind of weird stream today, but I just wanted to get this done because I do have some more repairs tomorrow to get to that I really need to get done because I've been waiting on that PS4 that I've got. We're going to be working on a PS4 tomorrow for my friend Filty up in Ohio. And I've been waiting on that one for a while now. So I kind of want to get that done tomorrow so I can get it in the mail for him Monday and get these boards in the mail, the Backflip on Monday. And, I just, want to have as much time as possible. Because potentially, if I can get to it, I also have another fun repair I'd like to get done as well. But I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time because I'm kind of assuming that Filty's PS4 is an easy fix, and it might not be. So we'll figure it out. But until then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for another repair stream. All right, guys, take it easy.